Hi, this is my second video of the issue of bringing down blood glucose level in your body. Perhaps you have seen my first video, and I shall be giving my link to my first video if some of you have not seen my first video. But unlike many people who have started a talk on the issue of health, I did not give my name or where I come from, but anybody who have seen my video would have seen that my name was George Marshall, my full name being George Santosh Marshall. I stay in a place called Hyderabad, India, and as you would have seen in the first video, I was a diabetic patient for about 20 years, beginning from 1998 up to almost January of 2018, when my sugar levels were extremely high. And as you would have seen in my first video, due to intermittent fasting which I undertook, and then of course controlling my diet, because of one or two beautiful YouTube videos, I was able to drastically bring down my sugar level to near normal. So today my random sugar would be something like 140 milliliter per I don't know, deciliter or something, I'm not too sure, but the reading that you take from your blood glucose meter, that reading is around 140 to 150. And I have been explaining in my previous video that as long as my sugar levels are less than 180, for me, my age being around 62, seems okay for me, because it would be much better than my previous readings when my blood sugar would be around 300 and 325, especially the days when I would not do any exercise. I was struggling. I would get up at 4 a.m. in the morning, start my morning walk up to 7 a.m. That means 3 hours of walk, and then afternoon before food or after food I would walk for half an hour. Then again in the evening I would walk for about half an hour to 1 hour. I used to use Fitbit, and my daily walk would exceed 23,000 steps. Today, because of my intermittent fasting and my very strict dietary lifestyle, I feel there's no need of overstressing myself by walk. So I do a 1 hour walk in the morning and half an hour walk in the evening, and I feel very comfortable, because once the body stops that overeating and we come back to the basics, as I would call it, your entire being feels excellent and you feel full of energy and life. So what would be the topic of my second video? This second video, this topic is that since I was looking at YouTube videos, I thought that it is time that I read about it. And as I told you, the person who changed my life was Dr. Fung. If he hears my video at any point of time, I would like to say thank you, Dr. Fung. You have been such an influence in my life, and I hope that you become an influence in the lives of many other people like me. I just cannot tell you how wonderful it was to know that diabetes is irreversible. This was something that I always knew was wrong, and diabetes was irreversible. So there was no much determination to bring it down, because I knew there was no cure. But you made it possible by your studies and your lectures on TV. Many other people talking to you and making this subject of intermittent fasting so very rich in YouTube that many people can enjoy and be literally healed of this disease. And then all those who are overweight, I would still recommend intermittent fasting as a very powerful way to reduce your weight. And once you reduce your weight, I think you will be just you would be feeling so good that I cannot describe the feeling that you would go through. So all of you who are overweight, I think you should give this a try. And it is very, very doable. That is what I want to tell. There are so many myths in India that fasting will create acidity and your organs will start to sort of get bad because the hormones get full and things like that. I think they're all very baseless, absolutely. And once you physically start doing this intermittent fast, I think it will give back all the negative answers that has been in your mind. So this is what I would like to tell each one of you. So the two books that I have downloaded in Kindle, and to those in India I would like to say that if you read the hardbound versions, that is the book form, the regular book form, these books are over 1400 rupees and the like. But if you can read it in your mobile, it is about 400 odd rupees. So the first book that I have it in my mobile today from Kindle, is Complete Guide to Fasting by Dr. Jason Fung, 495.96 rupees in the Kindle store or Amazon store. And the second one is Longivity Diet by Dr. Valter Longo. Now, Walter is not pronounced as W-A-L-T-E-R, but it starts with a V for victory, V-A-L-T-E-R, Longo. So he talks about a diet which will help you to stay fit and healthy and have very long life, that you will have a very long life. So he has interviewed many centurions, people who have lived 100 years, and he has been to those areas where people generally live more than 90 and 95 years old. Coupled with that, he has taken other parameters of long life, that is your fitness parameter and things like that. And he gives the 5 pillars of measuring, I think, a diet. So you got to read that book, because if I give everything away, you will not be interested. So have a look at one or two of his videos. They are very long, 1 hour long in YouTube. But it's worth listening to him, because I always believe that we should have a variety of information with us on any particular subject. Maybe it's quite different from the other, but we should have a knowledge so that our body behaves differently to different diets. Like one diet may be very good for one person, but the same diet may not be good for another person, and his healing curve may not be the same as another person. So our bodies are widely different, culture-wise and otherwise. So we should be able to try a diet and exercise and fasting which particularly suits you. I think that is very important. So this longevity diet is something which he has configured, where you are supposed to eat the right food which will prevent diseases like cancer and life-threatening disease. At the same time, he gives you the secret of the people, the kind of food they eat. Just for the information's sake, we are told that the Mediterranean plate of food is supposed to be very good, because when you look at that plate, it has the right combination of protein, carbohydrate and fat, okay? And the color of the plate is more than 50% of it is green, and then whatever is made by cooking, it is proportional. So the whole plate is supposed to be the most excellent plate of food that you can ever take. So have a look at that, understand that point of view about that Mediterranean plate, and you will have a background of what I am talking of. So these two books I am presently reading, greatly encouraged by it. The third book that I would like to read, and I have not yet purchased because don't want to read too many books at the same time, is the China Report. Now this report by Dr. really forgetting his name, but maybe I will write it down at the bottom of this video talk. This China report is very radical in its approach. Here they say that you can have carbohydrates, good carbohydrates in large amount, but you have to cut down your protein, and it's purely a vegetarian diet that he is proposing. And you can have a lot of fruits, and through fruits and plant-based diet you can really get rid of the diabetes. Now this is totally opposite to what we have been talking about and thinking about, and I have really not ventured into that because it's a good idea, because he says that good carbohydrates can also bring your sugar levels down, for which I think they say that you got to have 500 grams of fruits like mango, banana, whatever you want to have, and it seems that your blood sugars will not rise provided you don't increase your proteins and fats. So this is totally another view, but please don't get involved with too many views and don't combine these two, because it doesn't do any good. So I am sticking on to the diet which is I have a large plate of green salads. I don't put many vegetables, but it is leafy salads, and just to make it palatable I put some grains of pomegranates, and that I feel really does wonders for me. And then of course I have my small quantity of rice, and I have one cup of pulse. We call it chana dal in India, that is chickpeas, and mung dal, that is mung beans in English. So that I think provides the proteins, vegetable proteins, which are supposed to be very much better than the animal protein. So these are some of the views expressed by various people, but we have to take a view which suits our body. That is very important. So this is just a pep talk to those of you who have been who have gone through my first video, and I do hope that the second video will give you some more information about what I had to say. And this is George Marshall from Hyderabad, India, signing off, and I hope some of you can subscribe to my channel, press the bell button so that when my video comes you can go through it. For me, the numbers of people who would listen to me is purely academic. I am not very interested to sort of increase my readership and things like that. But I do hope that these kinds of messages will influence people, will make them to go on this particular path of intermittent fasting and then dietary control, and then let them watch out for their health. It is going to be excellent, and all your problems like back pain or arthritis and things like that, I think slowly the body starts healing itself, and once the body, you give a chance for the body to come back, I think then it's very difficult for diseases to creep in. So that is what I have been told, and that is what I believe in. So thank you for listening to me, and hope you have a good day. Bye bye. This is George Marshall again. Thank you.